The 2019 Georgia Bass Tech was a huge success. We crowned a champion with over 20 pounds of bass. But it's time for a new beginning. We're bringing back the 5 original clubs: High Voltage Bass Anglers, Xtream Jon Boat Anglers, Small Water Angling Teams, Electric Bass Opens, and Dixie Jon Boat. We've also added 2 additional teams with 5 Alive and Dahlonega Jon Boat Anglers. The top 4 finishing teams from these 7 clubs make up your Georgia Bass Tech field for the 2020 season. Time to get everything rolling, because November 14th will be on us before you know it.
Holy shit!
Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the great coverage from Decked Out Jon Boats. Now let's introduce you to some of the anglers.
Jeff Reese, City of Villa Rica, and Xtream Jon Boat Anglers.
I'm Ronnie Pendergrass from Marietta, Georgia, Xtream Jon Boat.
And what place did y'all finish in this year?
We finished 3rd.
3rd place. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I know you guys fished in the TEC. What is it last year? What does it mean to y'all to make it for 2 years in a row?
I mean, it means making it among the best fishermen, in my opinion, in the state of Georgia. Whether it's gasoline boat clubs or electric boat clubs, we got some sticks that fish, and when you go to the TEC, you realize that, you know, it's true. The difference in men and boys is the price of their toys. Some of these guys have their Jon Boats tricked out, and it's a fun tournament with a lot of good guys, a lot of good fishermen.
I'm good.
So have y'all been big bass boat fishermen before out of a...
Yes.
And what would you say is the main difference? What is it that keeps you in these electric boats versus fishing in the big bass boats?
You want to handle that one?
No, money, and just I can't see paying $80,000 for a boat. You know, spend all that money on gas, and plus you catch quality fish, and it's all about fishing, not running the lake. So that's my opinion. But I enjoy either one.
We fished since the early 80s in big bass boats. Both of us had Rangers. He still has a Ranger. And so, you know, the biggest difference is, I told somebody this the other day, in big boats, on your whole shot, if you didn't run 5 miles, you know, you didn't do anything. And so what this has taught me and him, we've talked about it before, is that there's just as many bass right around the ramp as there are 5 miles away. And so I think it's made us better bass fishermen and better fishermen in general. Because we have learned to adapt to the situations, and it's a lot harder fishing in small reservoirs than it is larger reservoirs, because you can kind of pattern big lakes. I like fishing Lake Allatoona like we're at today, because we can find the stuff that we're used to fishing. And on small lakes, you know, you might fish a Latham where it's a certain type of bottom, certain type of channel, certain type of cover, and then you may fish Varner like we did last week, and it's completely different. And the limitation obviously is our motors. And I tell people, one of the most important things you'll ever learn being an electric bass fisherman is that you have to know the limits of your motor, because you can only go halfway as far as you got to get back. So you know, it kind of limits where you can fish.
Yeah, it's the way I always say it is, the pattern's right in front of you, but it's as easy to get off of the pattern and not realize it is to find it in these small lakes.
That's exactly right.
How'd y'all get into bass fishing?
Boy, that's going back a long way. So me and him have known each other since we were little kids, and he was a really good baseball pitcher. I pitched. He was left-handed, I was right-handed, but we really started, I guess, trout fishing together.
Yeah, trout fishing.
You know, he got me hooked on trout fishing, and then in 1980, I actually got in a bass club out of Douglasville as a no-boater. And so I told Ronnie about it, and Ronnie had been going and catching big bass up at Lake Ackworth and different places. And Lake Allatoona is his home. This is his home. And so I got him in our on Tri-County Bass Club, our first bass club, and we fished with them 10 years, I guess. Yeah. But we started out as no boaters, and both of us just would sit in the back of the boat and learn everything we could from the folks that were the boaters. And some of those people I still have, you know, contact with, and they taught us a lot. So that, I guess that was our start. Our start was actually trout fishing.
Oh yeah, that and catfishing.
Yeah, that and catfishing.
So did we cover, what is it that keeps y'all in these electric Jon boats?
I just like the fellowship, you know, like the competition. You're not gonna make a living, so I mean, get out here, you might win a little money or not win no money, it don't matter. It's all about fun.
That's right.
Okay.
What would y'all say is the turning point in your season? What is it that got y'all qualified this year?
Well, we fell out of qualification. I probably answered the other way on that one. We were actually out of the top 4 up until, what, 3 tournaments left in the season. And we had a pretty good tournament at Lake Ackworth that put us back up in the top 4. And it was just hold on. We had in fact, I think this is the first year we've ever fished together and didn't win a tournament. We didn't win a tournament this year. We come in second once. And so ours was hold on all year long. And we've got some quality bass fishermen. And Dusty and Taylor got in, this was their first year, and man, they just, I mean, they really showed out. They had a good year, and so we had a pretty good spring for us. We're typically better late spring, summer fishing when the fish go deep. And but we had a pretty good spring, and I thought, man, this is going to be a great year, but it just never did materialize. And you know, we had some tragedy in our club, in our family, mine and his family, with his daughter passing away unexpectedly. So, you know, fishing is mental, and anytime you sort of lose that, we both did. I can't imagine what he had to go through, but even as his best friend, I went through it with him, and so that took a little edge off. But Shannon, his daughter, was our cheerleader. And she would constantly talk about, you know, she called me her second dad or uncle. She called me her uncle, and so it was tough losing her. And we talked about it today. And she always talked about having a video camera. And if you play some of the video from our boat today, you'll see why. Because we could probably shoot some kind of video, because I guess we know each other so well that he keeps me laughing, I keep him laughing, and we just have a good time. We really do. So as far as the turning point, I guess the turning point up was the Lake Ackworth tournament.
So y'all kind of touched on it a little bit, but besides yourselves, who is it to look out for out of y'all's club in the TEC?
Dusty and Taylor.
Yeah, Dusty and Taylor. But you know what? Jacob and Dale had a really good year this year. And in fact, Jacob went down before we ever fished the lake last year and did really well on it. And I think he won the tournament.
Yeah.
He won our tournament down there last year. So Jacob is known for finding fish. And so I would say that Jacob is probably I wouldn't call him a dark horse, but I would say that he probably has as good a chance as anybody does. But any of our top 4 guys are subject to have a really good tournament, and that's what it takes. You know, it's just about having that good day. We probably caught 15 or 20 fish today, but they were all 12, 13-inch fish. So it's about finding those quality fish. That's who wins tournaments.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your boat. What size is it?
Well, it's a low 16 and a half foot boat. It was actually a duck boat. It's made for duck hunting. It's got a weather guard. What's that called? It's not weather guard. Like a rhino liner type interior in it, which makes it really good to clean out. Not so good when it's hot. And I was telling you about, you know, the problems we had with the live well. We really had to work on the live well because we were losing a few fish a couple of years ago. We haven't lost any this year because of the live well. But it's a low 16 and a half foot. It's got a Torpedo 4.0 on the back. It'll push this boat about 6 or 7 miles per hour fully loaded, and that's with Ronnie's 400 pounds of gear and the live well full. So it's not bad. We had it up just a little over 6 today. Haven't had any trouble with the motor until our last tournament a week ago. and the circuit board went out on it. So I called Torqeedo, and Torqeedo made the circuit board good, and so all is well. Took it apart, put it back together, and run really good today.
Good deal. Anything special about the batteries that you run?
They're Torqeedo batteries. It's a 48 volt system, so there's two of the Torqeedo batteries. Each of them is a 24 volt battery, so it's runs on 48 volt. The charger is also Torqeedo. So I bought everything. You know, since they're lithium ion, I didn't want to take any chances with a regular type charger, and I've really loved it. And what I like about the Torqeedo is it's not the fastest motor on the water, but I can run all day long and still have 60%, 70% battery left. It just really don't pull a charge. So
I don't know if you heard the other motor drum, but because that one has the motor in the bottom of the foot, is it quieter in the boat?
It is quieter, yeah. It'll hum pretty good when you get it up, you know, to speed, but for the most part, it's a very quiet motor. Yeah. I haven't had any experience with the other motor, so I really don't know how to compare it. But compared to the two, we used to run two 24 volt trolling motors on the back, transom mount trolling motors, and those were pretty loud.
Gotcha. All right, well, let me just get some footage of the inside of the boat, and we'll get you fellas out of here.
I got footage on the inside.
Easy, I don't need that. I don't need that many viewers.
All